The year is 2006. We head to the hills and learn reality is scripted. Your Sony Cybershot uploads 462 blurry regrets. A Facebook poke makes everything complicated. And Twitter's like, cool story, you've got 140 characters. Go. T-minus 20. Rewind 20 years with Joe and Mel.
5 March 2006.
T-minus 20.
Bringing sexy back.
I want to forgive you.
T-minus 20.
I hate this long-distance relationship!
And I want to forget you.
You have no style or sense of fashion.
Christ, this is a beauty.
That's very nice. Yeah, boy!
20.
Yeah, boy. Welcome to T-minus 20, the nostalgia podcast that rewinds exactly 20 years and relives the week in pop culture, news, and chaos that once ruled, and probably still does to a certain extent, our lives.
Yes, each episode we jump back into the songs that owned your Discman and or iPod, the headlines that dominated breakfast TV. Oh, I remember breakfast TV. Those movies that you rented on DVD and the moments that felt really huge before Twitter could yell about them. Although we are getting close to Twitter yelling, actually, aren't we?
Right. If you ever thought, wait, that happened in 2006, then you're in absolutely the right place. Don't be confused with your hosts, Joe and Mel. Hello, Mel.
Hello, yes, you are in the right place. Welcome, friends. We're rewinding to the 5th to the 11th of March, 2006.
I will never forget the first time they passed the feeding tube up my nose. I can't describe how painful it is to be force-fed this way.
An unavoidable yet disturbing story that we have to kick off the show with very soon about doctors and Guantánamo Bay. Medical experts signing a letter in the Lancet condemning force feeding of hunger-striking detainees. This was a hideous story and there was lots and lots of stuff online about it at the time. We will crack on with that a little later on.
A lot of people say that this town is too liberal, out of touch with mainstream America, an atheistic pleasure dome. A modern-day beachfront Sodom and Gomorrah, a moral black hole where innocence is obliterated in an endless orgy of sexual gratification and greed. I don't really have a joke here. I just thought you should know a lot of people are saying that.
That little piece of rolled gold was from Jon Stewart hosting the Oscars back in 2006. And let me tell you, it was a tough room. But I mean, when you're coming out with jokes like that in front of the LA elite, good luck to you. We'll talk more about that as well.
I got the right temperature for shelter you from the storm. Hold on, girl, I got the right tactics to turn you on. And girl, I wanna be the papa, you can be the mom.
Uh-oh. Temperature. Sean Paul hits the charts and invents a third language. English, Spanish, and Sean Paul.
Yeah.
The third language of popular music at the time.
I just had no idea what the hell he was singing, and I still don't to this day.
I don't think you were alone.
No, I don't. But look, this is not a new phenomenon. And I want to gather round, kids, while Uncle Joe tells you a story about the birth, the origin of the misheard lyric, because Sean Paul is absolutely a proponent of that, but it's been going on for a very long time.
Sean Paul had an accent, so it did make it a little bit more difficult, and he did use terminology that maybe not everybody was familiar with, but I get stuck on, remember Snow in Former?
Yes.
He didn't have an accent. I had no chance with that one. Look, the licky boom boom down. Did he even say that? I don't know. I don't even know what that song was about.
I don't want to go
I
anywhere
think
near.
police looked at his bottom or something.
I don't want to go anywhere near where boom booms are being licked down or anything like that.
Probably for the
but picture
best.
this, okay? A little girl sitting in a field with a book of Scottish ballads, right? She reads a dramatic line about a fallen noble, and the line is, "and laid him on the green." But that's not what she sees. In her mind, the words say, "and Lady Mondegreen." And thus, that is the accidental birth of Lady Mondegreen. In 1954, this American writer named Sylvia Wright published an essay in Harper's Magazine describing this exact childhood mistake. She'd misread a line from a 17th century ballad, The Bonny Earl of Murray, and instead of laid him on the green, she imagined a tragic aristocrat named Lady Mondegreen. And she confessed she was disappointed to discover that Lady Mondegreen never actually existed. She just misheard the lyric in the ballad. And so the mistake coined a word for this kind of mishearing, which is mondegreen, meaning a misheard lyric or phrase that creates a new or often poetic or hilarious meaning. And language hasn't really recovered from that.
No.
I mean, we hear people, it kind of irks me when people sing the wrong lyric too.
Does it? Because I always do.
It's like, that's not the lyric.
I always do. I'm the worst at it.
Well, I mean,
just make things up.
It's because our brains are wired to be these prediction machines, right? So if we hear something unclear, especially in music, we just fill the gaps with whatever words make the most sense to us.
Yes, I thought the Jarul J-Lo collaboration at the start, I thought she was saying, "Are you early?" And I was like,
that's
wow,
right.
J-Lo really likes people to be punctual.
Yes.
But she was actually spelling out R-U-L-E as in rule, Jarul.
Yes, that's right.
I never knew that.
And you thought it was "Are you early?"
I
That makes
thought she
sense.
was just a punctual
and
person.
this is the thing. If you put in, say, some loud guitars or maybe some Diwali rhythm or something.
What chance do you have?
Some unfamiliar accents like a Shonapol and some faster pacing with your childhood vocabulary gaps, and there you go. That's your new reality. I mean,
We've
there's
got no chance.
Classic ones, excuse me while I kiss this guy. From Purple Haze, Jimi Hendrix, excuse me while I kiss this guy. Hold Me Closer, Tony Danza. I think that's one of my
favourites as
of
well.
Of course, the original being Hold Me Closer, Tiny Dancer. Going to take a lot to drag me away from you. There's nothing that 100 men on Mars could ever do. Do you know what that one's from?
No.
Africa, Toto. The actual lyric is 100 men or more could never do.
Oh.
Sweet dreams are made of cheese.
Well, I like that.
Who am I to disagree? Yeah, we all know that one, the Eurythmics. I mean, there's just so many.
I knew someone in the early 2000s, and they actually came up with a bit of a workaround for that because they misheard lyrics all the time. It was getting embarrassing, but these were the days when you're out on the dance floor and you'd sing along because that's just what you did. They came up with a bit of a hack, and apparently if you use rhubarb or wheelbarrow when you don't know what the words are,
it just looks like you're saying
the correct thing.
Yes, I've heard that.
So you can just throw that in there.
I've heard the rhubarb phenomenon. It's very good. It's very good when it comes to the second verse of the national anthem.
Oh, yeah, because you never really learnt that, did you, in school? And then they've been pulling that out at the sporting events. And I'm like, oh, dear, I really should know that.
Exactly. I mean, the thing that always clarified it, though, is the lyric sheet. This is what I loved about buying albums is the lyric sheet. Whereas, so we weren't wrong until we were proven wrong. But at that stage, we were just in a collaboration. We were collaborating with the artist. We didn't check the lyric. We committed to it.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
All in. What did you miss here? Do you have any classics?
Have you heard the music I listen to?
Oh, it's pretty
Everything is a mondegreen. All right, the Hatch, Match and Dispatch clue, the segment at the end of the show, Hatches, Matches and Dispatches, the births, deaths and marriages. Nothing too important to note of this week, except for the fact that there was a celebrity having a birthday that said this.
I'm going to take you down, and I'm going to take you down hard. Just name the time and place.
Goodness me, I nearly choked on my coffee. That's them's fighting words. We'll find out who's got those fighting words at the end of the show.
Over in the news, 10th of March.
We've got to be a bit serious for this story. It's a bit
we
of a shocker, really.
We had some medical experts weighing in on what was happening over in Guantánamo Bay at the time. And the Lancet, which was one of the world's most respectful medical journals, probably still is actually, they published an open letter signed by more than 250 prominent medical professionals urging the US to stop the force feeding of the hunger-striking detainees at Guantánamo Bay detention camp and to close the prison entirely.
So I think for context, it's important to understand what force feeding is. And it's a really confronting and gruesome ritual. There's a great video on YouTube that you can go and watch. I say great, I don't mean great, but it'll give you a lot of context where the rapper Mos Def in I guess sort of a protest or just to demonstrate how actually disturbing and barbaric it is, did it. He did it live on YouTube, or they recorded him being force-fed and he put it up on YouTube. And And it's just utterly shocking. The Guardian also put together a series of animations based on accounts from prisoners, which is worth searching on YouTube as well. So you just do Guardian force-fed Guantánamo Bay, you should find it. But this is kind of a little bit of an audio grab from the Guardian's account where they've reenacted some of those stories.
A squad of 8 military police officers in riot gear burst in. They tied my hands and feet to the bed. They forcibly inserted an IV into my hand. I spent 26 hours in this state. Later, they began feeding me by nasal catheter. The food rushed into my stomach too quickly. I asked him to reduce the speed. He not only refused, but tried to turn it up. After he finished his work, he roughly pulled the tube from my nose.
It's just hideous, and it goes on and on. So what happens is that nasal catheter. So they shove a tube up your nose, which then goes down your throat, past your gag reflex, and right into the bottom of your stomach. So that tube goes all the way down. So you can imagine the burning sensation of having that kind of foreign object shoved in, and then they intravenously pump food into there, like porridge, like some kind of food substance in there to stop you from starving to death while you're on a hunger strike. It is hideous. It's torturous.
Which is why this letter and petition happened. Dr. David Nicol and the doctors, 250 of them from countries including the US, UK, Ireland, Germany, Australia and Italy, said that the practice of force-feeding the detainees on hunger strike violated established medical ethics codes. There's international standards such as the World Medical Association declarations of Tokyo and Malta that actually prohibit force-feeding of competent hunger strikers who have made themselves an informed decision to refuse the nourishment.
Yeah.
There's also the debate around the use of restraint chairs because obviously they had to do that to be able to insert the tubes.
Well, yes, I mean, your instinct is going to be to pull that out if somebody puts it in, so they strap you down to a bed or a chair.
Yeah, and the overwhelming view was that the medical profession should respect the autonomy of prisoners and not act as an arm of military or political power. It also called on governments and medical associations to ensure detainees could be examined by independent physicians and that the use of force feeding and the subsequent restraints should be abandoned.
Yeah, so this is, controversial. Guantánamo Bay has been in the press quite a bit at the moment, and in 2006, it's a lightning rod for that post 9/11 detention policy. We've had the photos. We've had hundreds of terrorism suspects being held indefinitely without charges or trials. Many of the detainees in there have launched hunger strikes to protest their treatment and the fact that they're in this legal limbo. Some of them have been there for quite a few years at this stage. The US military authorities responded by force-feeding the strikers to keep them alive. They obviously didn't want them to die on their watch, so they have to force-feed them, I guess. But having such a large group of these medical leaders that are very well respected speak out publicly is really significant because it brings that medical ethic framing into what was largely a legal and political issue at this stage. I mean, this is about the well-being of human beings, right? And it amplified that global criticism. I mean, just when you thought you couldn't have any more trouble at Guantánamo Bay or any more problems, this pops up. And it's definitely worth reviewing through the lens in 2026 as well.
Because at the time, the world's still grappling with balancing national security with human rights and ethics post 9/11. And the experts coming out and saying what they said highlighted the broader concerns about how these detainees were treated. And as you mentioned, a lot of them were going on hunger strike because they had been detained for so long without trials. So where was the discussion about that and where was the way forward for those detainees? And it's a tricky one to discuss because obviously what happened on September 11 was absolutely horrific. And this is in response to that. So it's a very difficult situation, I guess, to discuss as part of those broader viewpoints, I suppose, because there was a lot of feeling around that. So it is a tricky one to balance. But basically this is coming down to human rights and that really detaining them and doing what they were doing is is contrary to what medical professionals would deem okay. And it was going against those
they're like,
ethics.
do no harm.
Yeah.
That is like the golden rule is do no harm. And there's definitely a case for this. And it's like, well, okay, there's where the debate rages. It's like if they starve to death and we have the opportunity to intervene, are we allowing that harm to happen? And it's like, well, but in force feeding them, you are harming them.
Causing harm, yeah. It's a difficult one.
It's a very difficult one. It's something that is never clean cut or black and white. Go and have a look at the videos and see what you think of it, because I know where I stand on it. Let's change the pace a little bit.
In nomine Patris et Filii et Spiritus Sancti.
Are you suggesting we all need to go to church for a little bit?
Some cleansing.
Change of pace.
I was wondering if there was a Mondegreen in there. Look, I think the follow-up for that should be Gloria in Excelsis Nano.
Oh, really?
Pope Benedict the 15th gifted a 2 gigabyte iPod Nano in papal white by Apple on sometime this week in 2006. Head of the Catholic Church, full papal regalia, wearing iconic white Apple earbuds, wandering the Vatican, listening to Mozart or whatever else, just singing along.
In nomine Patris et Filii et Spiritus Sancti.
Oh, Jesus Christ, excuse the pun. The Pope's got his iPod on again.
I love that he just got with the Apple program. He's the head of the Catholic Church. Yeah, this is good. This is good gear. The staff at Vatican Radio, so there is a Vatican Radio station, would you believe?
Yeah.
Imagine being an announcer there. That'd be fun, wouldn't it?
Vatican Radio.
Yeah.
Oh, we're going out in the White Thunders today. We're giving out some holy water.
Oh, a few blessings.
Yeah, a couple of
Maybe
blessings.
some bread and some loaves and some
fish. Oh, there's definitely some bread. Definitely lots of bread and some red wine as well there.
So the staff had to help him load it with some tunes because he wasn't really across how to do that. And look, to be honest, I'm struggling with doing that today with our son. I had to get ChatGPT to help me because I've forgotten how to do it. So, no shade on His Excellency.
The first 5 people to show up and genuflect will get the body of Christ. That'd be nice.
So his staff has loaded it up with religious music, some programming from Vatican Radio.
Oh, great.
So, some on demand.
Yeah.
Talk breaks.
What are they? I mean, I don't want to know what love songs and dedications looks like on Vatican Radio.
Or Rocktober. What would be happening on Rocktober on Vatican Radio?
Remember in commercial radio, the Easter weekend? It's a roll back the rock weekend.
Oh, dear. I don't know
used to do that, roll back the rock on the radio.
Vatican Radio would get amongst that.
It's a roll back the rock weekend on the Vatican Radio.
They also put a bit of Beethoven, Mozart, is into the classical stuff, Tchaikovsky, all of that. So definitely not I'm in love with a stripper or anything that's charting at this point in time. I don't think Shauna Paul would have been on the Pope's Nano. No, but it was engraved, which is just lovely. It was engraved with To His Holiness Benedict
the 15th.
XV1.
Yeah, the 15th.
Custom engraving. So obviously Apple Store personalisation.
It just takes longer for it to arrive.
I think it costs extra.
You have to pay extra for the engraving.
Costs extra. So,
screws your resale
They went
value.
above and beyond. 2 gig capacity. So that's about 500 songs. That is a lot of Vatican Radio.
That is a fair bit.
On the Nano.
It's a lot of hymns and psalms and whatnot.
And when they gave it to him, he reportedly said, computer technology is the future.
Oh, thanks, Pope.
The future.
Captain Obvious. Yeah.
Oh, very visionary in 2006.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Telling us that it's the future. And we're going, yeah, sure.
Yeah. Well, so where's the Vatican with it now, with the future and computer technology?
Look, I don't exactly know because I don't keep a close eye on the Vatican's tech and their social media presence. But look, I would dare say that they would be looking into maybe some AI chatbots. You know how you can build your own GPT, like you can build your own bot and fill it with just your information. So people build bots with, I don't know, like a lot of people online that sell courses, they build these bots that are preloaded with just their course so that people can ask questions and get answers as if it's the person who runs the course answering them. So maybe they have built like a Pope bot. So if you're having, you're having a moral dilemma in the morning, you just log on to Pope GPT and do like, hey, I'm having this dilemma. What do you think I should do? I reckon that's probably where they're at these days.
Pope GPT, you'd be like, bless me, Father, for I have sinned. It's been 3 days since I last logged on.
Okay, over to the charts.
Sure.
We'll start with the Aussie charts. We had a new entry. Going to talk a bit about it next week, but let's just have a little listen.
I reckon this
Great
would be
tune.
in the Pope's iPod.
Go on and flaunt it, ha, what your mama gave you, ha. Let my bassline rearrange you, ha. This track's designed to make you cream. Go on and flaunt it, ha, what your mama gave you, ha. Nobody ever gonna tame you, ha. Gonna make you dance till you bleed. Go on and flaunt it.
Oh,
Just, feels like a holy awakening, doesn't it?
Cutting it up in the conclave.
You don't want to trip, though, on the robes. I feel like
No.
dancing to that in a robe could be dangerous.
I feel like for that particular song, you'd be hitching up your robe.
You'd be
quite a
holding,
bit.
yeah, okay, maybe rolling it over the belt.
Probably
making
unzipping
it a bit
the,
shorter.
loosening the top button
Okay,
of your
that's enough.
vestments.
All right, let's move. UK number one, Sorry by Madonna.
She was cooking in 2006, wasn't she, Madonna? I mean, this is the extension of the album that she released in 2005, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes. So definitely a bit of comeback era. She would not have been on the Nano with, all that stuff that went down in the 80s.
Really?
The church.
Oh,
remember,
yeah, she
Like
wouldn't
a
be on
Prayer?
that. Well,
No.
secretly, she might have been.
No, she'd be blocked. She'd
Yeah.
be blocked on iTunes for sure.
right,
There's
yeah.
probably a number of artists that are blocked. that
Yeah,
they can't
especially after
access.
that video.
Yeah. Yes. But this was her big comeback. It was the second single from the album Confessions on a Dance Floor.
Oh, Confessions? There you go. Maybe she's seeking forgiveness.
Maybe
it's
this
called
sorry.
Sorry.
Maybe
You know.
she's apologising.
Yeah.
It's an open letter to
Just
the
to
Catholic
come back
Church.
into the fold.
Sorry
Yes.
about that.
Back to the
everybody.
flock.
Yeah.
Back to the flock. And the Pope's like, flock you. You're not going anywhere. You can stay the hell out of here.
In nomine Patris et Filii et Spiritus Sancti.
I reckon there's a remix happening there. You could drop some of those little bits into Sorry.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
On that Euro dance beat. Very, very Euro.
Yeah, well, I mean, Pope
Synth
Benedict
loops,
is into the Euro stuff.
repetitive hook,
Surely. Yeah.
minimal emotion.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically her saying sorry in multiple languages, and that did include Italian.
See, I'm thinking the Pope is like down. He does
maybe.
things in multiple languages as well.
Maybe.
She didn't do
I've
it in
seen
Latin.
some
Did she do it
parallels.
any Latin in there?
No, there
Oh, that's
was
a shame.
Spanish and Dutch.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No
Dutch.
Latin.
No Latin.
Pope is disappointed.
This one hit number one in the UK.
Yeah.
It was in the top 10 across Europe and Australia. And obviously the one after Hung Up. But interestingly...
Yeah, it's in the shadow of Hung Up, I reckon. Hung Up was a stronger song.
Well, interestingly, I think this one was stronger in Europe. And
Right.
it did not do particularly well over in America, which was really starting to show that she's starting to skew European. It was a bit of a shift in the 2000s for Madonna.
She's gone Euro.
And she's kind of trying to out-club those younger pop artists at the
Yep.
time.
Yep.
She's embracing that electro sound before it becomes really mainstream. And when you think about, say, Kylie Minogue going into her
Yeah,
electronic era, early Lady Gaga, she is, again, reinventing herself as Madonna does
Yep.
and paving the way for some of these other
Is
artists
she
that we
paving
see.
the way, or is she chasing now? Though has she? Because this is sort of after Madonna's at the pinnacle, and now she's just kind of. I mean, she's doing whatever she likes. Like she's reinventing
give a
herself. Oh, you're right. She doesn't give. A Doesn't matter. Let's go over to the charts in the USA.
Fine.
And I can't be without you, baby. And I'll be waiting up until you get home. 'Cause I can't sleep without you, baby.
I got the right temperature for shelter you from the storm. Hold on, girl, I got the right tactics to turn you on. And girl, I wanna be the papa, you can be the mom.
Smile for me, daddy.
What you looking at? Come on.
Let me see your grill.
Let me see my what?
Your grill. Your grill.
Rob the jewelry store and tell them make me a grill.
You're beautiful. You're beautiful. You're beautiful. It's true.
What?
Come over and check up on it. I'ma let you work up on it. Ladies, let him check up on it. Watch it while he check up on it. Flip it, pop it, talk it, stop it, check on me tonight. Ooh, boy, you looking like you like what you see. Won't you come over and check up on it?
Oh, you're looking at me.
Yeah.
Go. Okay,
Yeah.
sure. Sorry.
What do you got
I
for
don't
me?
know. You looked like you were going to say something.
No,
but
I've
guess
got
not.
nothing.
Number 1, Beyonce still with Check on It.
Yes.
You're Beautiful, James Blunt, number 2. Nelly with Grills still in number 3. Number 5 is Mary J. B. Without You, but it is number 4, the brand new entry into the US top 5 that we would
Paula.
like to discuss, Temperature.
I got the right temperature for shelter you from the storm. Hold on, girl, I got the right tactics to turn you on. And girl, I wanna be the papa, you can be the mom. Oh. When they roll with a player like me, with a brother like me, girl, there is no other.
When you roll with a player like me, with a brother like me, girl, there is no udder. There's no cow. Oh, that's
Stop.
a Mondegreen right
Stop.
there. Yeah.
Stop. There was a line in there as well. I want to be the papa and you can be the mom.
The mom.
I don't feel like that's a good pickup line. That just, I don't know. Just feels
But
a
he
bit
also got the right
parental.
temperature to shelter you from the storm.
Oh, Lord. Yeah, he's got a rhyme, I guess.
Yeah.
Dancehall banger by Sean Paul.
A
obviously.
dance hall banger.
Banger.
Is dance hall like the style? Is that
Dancehall,
it?
yeah, and it has that Diwali rhythm where you've got the kind of
And the
clappy
clapping,
beat.
yeah.
Yes, dominated early 2006 and made us all try to dance in ways that we weren't prepared for, basically.
I feel like belly dancing. I feel like really just kind of,
Yeah, like a lot of popping and locking.
putting the guts into it, putting the belly into it.
It peaks at number 1 on the US Billboard in March, number 1 on the US Pop 100, top 10 across Australia, UK and Europe. Really one of the defining club tracks of the year and probably one of his, well, I mean, Get Busy is probably his biggest, but this one's up there, Temperature.
Yeah.
You do still hear it.
Don't mind temperature. I don't mind.
Pretty sure I heard it in Guzman and Gomez,
in
actually.
limited doses. I don't mind a bit of Shauna Paul.
Yeah, he's all right. I don't mind him.
Yeah.
I think he's fun. And
it's something different, you know,
Yeah.
and that's the thing. It's like it's not that traditional singing. It's something a little bit different. It doesn't sound American. It doesn't sound British. It just sounds exotic.
It does. And, you know, the dance hall kind of sound has already become mainstream thanks to Shaggy and Rihanna. But I think he was the one that really brought it into the mainstream and turned it into sort of 2000s dominance. in
Yeah,
terms
I
of the
could
sound.
see this on the Pope's iPod.
There was a running...
Domino Pace, Filita Sante, Filita, I got the Holy Spirit.
Oh, yeah, put the mass, set the mass to a bit of a Diwali rhythm.
Yeah.
And you could get a whole new generation through the door. That could be a good way. That could be
Yeah,
a good way to keep the relevance.
Speed it up a bit
in
as
the
well.
modern
It should
age.
be good, you know.
Yeah, I feel like church is a bit more singy than it used to be. Last
Yeah.
time I went, I was like, I don't remember all of this. Is a lot more singing than what I
Yeah,
recall.
too much singing.
And some of the words have changed, or
Yeah.
maybe I just misheard them back in the day. Who knows?
Yeah, it's just like
maybe I misunderstood the church
You just get some of
words.
this, like, you know, you get some of the like,
In nomine Patris et Filii.
uh-oh.
That could be the response.
Yeah.
Yes.
Uh-oh. Instead of
I'm not
amen.
hating this
you
idea.
just respond with an uh-oh.
Yeah.
Forever and ever. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Perfect.
Uh-oh. Yeah, look, I'm not hating these ideas. Obviously, the running joke and sort of harking back to what we were talking about at the start of the show, that nobody knew what Sean Paul was actually saying, but it did become part of the charm because back then you couldn't just tap the screen to see the words.
No.
And lyrics weren't as easily available. You couldn't just look them up on the internet. People are still uploading them to the internet. They're not just readily there like they are today.
Yes.
So I thought I'll jump on YouTube and see how people were feeling in the comments.
You do
about
know,
this song.
though, just before we get to those comments, you do know that, like, auto-captioning is the new Mondegreen.
Oh,
You know, yeah,
yes, because
yeah.
it does often get it wrong,
Computer's
doesn't it?
just doing it all for us.
That's
That don't-
fine.
I wish I'd have thought about that when we were doing that actual bit. But anyway, back to the
Whatever.
comments. Yes.
Let's go to the comments. I love the comments. Another Ashen Soul
Oh, wow,
that's
that's dark.
no one, colon. The password on the back of the Wi-Fi router, colon.
Hold on, girl, I got the right tactics to turn you on. And
Yes.
How do you spell that?
Oh, Lord, I've got to right to
There's a
turn you
few
on. Oh,
symbols.
that's the modem.
Some
password, yeah.
capitalisation.
Yes.
RCK 5322. There are 3 popular language songs: English, Spanish, and Shauna Paul.
I got the right temperature for shelter you from the storm.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
AO Midor 8523. Captions are unavailable. This is actually on YouTube.
There
When
you
you look
go.
at it, captions are unavailable. Even YouTube has no idea what he's saying.
Wanna be the papa, you can be the mom. Oh, oh. When they roll with a player like me, with a brother like me, girl, there is no other.
Netanel says, Sean Paul is like a doctor's prescription. You can't understand a word, but you still take it.
When they roll with a player like me, with a brother like me, girl, there is no other.
Yes, I'm feeling better now.
Yes,
It cleared up that little
100%.
problem. Excellent. And this comment, I read this and then had to do some digging. I'm not going to say the rest of that person's words. Sus.
Oh, you can. You just do it with an accent. Just pretend there's an umlaut over it. Do you want me to do it?
Yes, you can.
It's at Suskunt 804.
Who else come here from watching that dude play the song on his belly?
Okay, please explain.
Well, I didn't know, so then I Googled guy playing Sean Paul on his belly and found this.
Point me 11, 40, naughty, shorty. Baby girl, some gonna talk, some gonna talk, some gonna talk. Well, you want the way they talk, all I wanna be keeping you warm. I got the right temperature, mission to you from the start. Go all night, gotta get the right kick to turn you on. I don't know the rest.
You even did a little trill, and I think you've got to have the visuals as well, because this is a guy that he's got ample belly.
He's shirtless.
And he's very white.
Yes.
And he's just going for it.
He's just playing it on his guts. Uh-oh. Let's keep on racing through this week in 2006 as we get to the screens, the screen time. Back when screen time wasn't something that was measured by an app on your phone and it said, you're going to get square eyes. Remember that? Don't sit too close to the TV or watch too much TV, you're going to get square eyes. And now everything operates like about 4 inches from our face. So much so that now I need reading glasses because I can't see anything that close in front of my face without glasses. And
I heard something the other day that the reason that we're getting more lines in our neck than we used to, although maybe it's just wishful thinking, I don't know. But apparently, because I've got a lot of lines on my neck and I'm like, just getting old, whatever. But I heard someone say the other day that apparently those lines are more pronounced now because we're always looking down at our phones and it's kind of making permanent creases in our necks.
Yes, you're getting a bad case of scrot throat. From looking down at your phone.
Oh, dangerous.
Scrotum throat.
That's worse than square eyes, isn't it? I think I'm going to go and sit really close to the television.
I'll take square eyes over scrot throat any day.
On the big screen in America, let's chat.
Yes.
Medea? Is it Medea? Medea. The disguise comedy, family reunion. That's still number one.
The big screen where your eyes aren't actually square, they're 16:9.
Are you busy looking either end? Like what's going on?
So we talked about Medea was number one in the US box office. That came out that's the, what's that guy's name? Tyler Perry. Tyler Perry in drag playing Medea, the black woman, the family reunion, that whole thing. In Australia, we had a great movie, a great paranoia-fueled film with Harrison Ford in it called Firewall.
I need you to talk to your husband. He listens to you. If he doesn't do exactly as I ask, I will kill you and your 2 children.
This is about robbing the bank, isn't it? You have to do whatever they want.
I spent 20 years trying to protect this bank. How do you expect to get in and out of here?
You design the software. You find me a way in.
Video camera, we see what you see.
Morning, Jack.
Audio transmitter, we hear everything.
You seem a little stressed out, Jack. Is everything okay?
Where are they? Where's my family? Are they alive? Just kill me here. Why should I make it easy? God. Change of plans. I'm done talking.
Jack has broken our agreement and decided not to cooperate.
Don't you ever touch my children again!
I just hacked into your accounts.
That's impossible.
You just lost 20 million. Now you know what it feels like to lose what you love.
Oh, this was a good movie. This is a bit of art imitating life as well. If you think about the stories that we did a couple of weeks ago about the heists, where they kidnap the family of the bank manager in order to sort of get into the safe, and this was very much art imitating life.
This one had a cyber security element.
That's
as
right.
well.
Harrison Ford played Jack Stanfield, and you heard a young Paul Bettany there as well. I don't think it was like a breakout role for him. He'd been acting for some time, but he didn't. Paul Bettany doesn't really get famous until he's kind of
Who's Paul Bettany?
Paul Bettany was Vision in the Marvel films, and he was also in a Star Wars movie. He's been in quite a few movies, but this was him playing that villain, that very well elocuted, British villain.
I like my villains to have a good accent.
Yeah, like that.
Makes them
I think Alan Rickman
little
did
bit
it
more
best.
scary,
Hans
I think.
Gruber in Die Hard was kind of the
Yeah.
archetype for it, and so everyone's kind of Jeremy Irons has been in a Die Hard movie, and Paul Bettany was kind of like imitating, I guess, that to a degree. Maybe just channeling it, maybe inspired by it. Imitating is probably a very insulting word for an actor, although that's what they get paid to do is pretend to be somebody else. So calm down. Harrison Ford. The thing that I couldn't believe is because, and especially these days, like Harrison Ford, he's kind of that cantankerous old guy.
He doesn't strike me as someone who'd understand
Not very
cybersecurity.
tech savvy. I just don't think he'd give a shit about it.
I think he'd have the same password across everything.
I like Harrison
And he'd
Ford.
have it written down
Yeah.
on a post-it note stuck to his computer. That's how I
don't know.
I feel his cybersecurity
I don't
would be
think
going.
Harrison suffers fools. Like he'd never be on this podcast. He designs his character in this film designs high-level digital security systems for a Seattle bank. I mean, he's been the president of the United States. He's been Han Solo. I mean, he's flown the Kessel Run in what was it, like 412 something parsecs. So he's done all those things. So maybe he can design these security systems. Anyway, Paul Bettany's gang break into his home, take his wife and kids hostage, and they're like, we need you to transfer $100 million out of the bank into our bank account, but he can't go in and move the money without raising any alarms. So he gets creative and he has to siphon funds in small increments using home tech and devices like, I mean, well, not iPads because they weren't out yet, but just on the PC at home.
On the dial-up.
On the house computer.
Siphoning money on
Yes.
dial-up. Wow.
Yeah, so the
risky.
premise is like, can a dad outsmart a cyber gang while pretending everything's fine at work? And dads go through a lot of shit in their life while they pretend everything's fine at work, so I think this is highly plausible. Harrison Ford and the gadgets, maybe not, but definitely as a dad, he's got range. I think he could do it all. So it was good. It was good. Virginia Madsen was in there as well. She's a great actor. This is a very serious adult thriller. This was in between the Indiana Jones revivals for Harrison Ford. Budget $52 million at the US box office. Worldwide, $83 million. Not a smash, not a flop. Just that mid-tier 2006 thriller. Wasn't terrible. Wasn't amazing
I think
either.
we liked it too because we're just starting to use online banking. We're all petrified of it. And it's
Yes.
just like, see, this is what could happen if we move our money around.
That's right.
On the online banking. My parents still feel that way.
They probably watched this movie. It's set back 10 years.
Possibly.
That's what's going to happen.
Identity theft. But not at the stage it's at now, but the fears were out there.
I want to watch it again to see how much it's dated now because this is like that pre-social media, pre-smartphone hacking.
And the idea that they could just empty a bank account. Part of me still goes, one day I'm going to log on and see zero across everything. I still have that fear.
Me too. I'm terrified of it. This is pre-crypto. This is pre-AI phishing. This is pre-deep fakes. And it's kind of cool. It's like, oh, you're going to hack? Oh, how cute. Like, what's the worst that could happen? That's what I mean. I don't know that it's dated very well. Like, in 2006, it's like hackers can ruin your life. In 2026, it's like banks use biometric authentication. Fraud detection is algorithmic. Cybercrime is way more sophisticated. We're more worried about ransomware than one rogue insider, and the threat scale is much smaller than the modern cyber warfare.
Yes, very true. Very true. We had some big awards in the world of movies as well this week, 20 years ago, 5th of March, the Academy Awards at the Kodak Theatre in Hollywood.
Yes, you heard that grab that we played at the front of the show where Jon Stewart was hosting. It was his first time hosting.
Oh,
and it's a tough crowd, the Oscars.
Crowd, yes.
He's like, I liked all his jokes. I watched his monologue and all his jokes are really good, but they're just like, it's such a tough room. And it's like you see so many people die when they host the Oscars. And I wouldn't say that I think he held it together, but it was a tough crowd. Anyway, big winners of the night. The Best Picture Award went to Crash.
That was really controversial. And I think it's still controversial today because everyone thought Brokeback Mountain would win.
Yeah.
As it had dominated awards season.
Yes.
And I think there was a bit of a feeling of, can we not let that one win? Is it a bit too controversial? Did we go with the safe option? I think was the debate at the time.
There's big movies. There's big movies. There's Medea's Family Reunion. No, there's Crash.
Harrison, the cyber criminal.
There's Crash. We've got Brokeback Mountain. We've got the Johnny Cash Walk the Line.
Oh, the Reese one. Yes.
Walk the Line. We've got Capote. There's a lot of big films in 2006. So while Brokeback Mountain didn't win Best Picture and Crash did. Ang Lee won Best Director for Brokeback Mountain in 2006 and was actually the first Asian director to win Best Director at the Oscars. And you know, there's that whole thing of Oscars so white. And
Yes.
it's kind of like it's great to see an Asian director in 2006 win Best Director. I mean, and it's opening people's mind to Asian cinema a little bit more. And I know I'm a huge fan of South Korean films. I like a lot of Japanese films. You know, up until then, you kind of had to really seek it out, but it's starting to bring that more into the mainstream. So, Best Actress goes to Reese Witherspoon for Walk the Line. Her portrayal of June Carter Cash was just, I mean, they loved her, and her speech was wonderful. She was just, she's adorable. She seems like such a genuine and nice person.
My grandmother was one of the biggest inspirations in my life. She taught me how to be a real woman, to have strength and self-respect, and to never give those things away. And those are a lot of qualities I saw in June Carter. And people used to ask June how she was doing, and she used to say, "I'm just trying to matter." And I know what she means, you know, I'm just trying to matter and live a good life and make work that means something to somebody. And you have all made me feel that I might have accomplished that tonight. So thank you so much for this honor.
I mean, it's just the usual speech up until the end. They usually are, where they go through the list and they thank all the people. But what I liked about Reese Witherspoon's speech is that she spoke so fondly about June Carter Cash throughout the speech. And she obviously loved that character that she was portraying. She had a real affinity for the character, which I think is wonderful. Best Actor, Philip Seymour Hoffman, who is no longer with us, for his role playing Truman Capote. I mean, this was transformative performance for him. Huge role for him. He was an artist in the true sense of the word, in that I think he was a little bit tortured as well. But here's part of his speech.
My mom's name is Marilyn O'Connor, and she's here tonight. And I'd like, if you see her tonight, to congratulate her because she brought up 4 kids alone, and she deserves a congratulations for that. And we're at the party, Ma, you know. And she took me to my first play, and she stayed up with me and watched the NCAA Final Four. And her passions became my passions. And, you know, be proud, Mom, because I'm proud of you, and we're here tonight, and it's so good. Thank you.
I love that.
Nice.
I love that about his speech, and you see him achieving that success. Obviously, it's a tragedy what happened to him later on. But they're all kind of thanking their parents, like a lot of them.
Yeah,
and
Reese mentioned her grandma, didn't she?
I just think it can't be understated, the influence that you can have on a child that really shapes the person that they're going to be. And you look at that, like, you know, Philip Seymour Hoffman, he was surrounded by art and culture, and his mother took him to see things like that, and he ended up working in the field and winning an Oscar. And it was a similar thing with Reese Witherspoon as well. You know, her parents were always very supportive of her. And then, you know, they're rewarded by her thanking them when she collects an Oscar. I mean, that must be just an amazing thing. And to have your parents in the audience as well would be very emotional.
Lovely. This is probably one of the last ones where we didn't have social media dominating.
Yeah.
So you still had to wait a week for the best and worst dress lists in Who Weekly or People in the US magazine, not People in Australia, as we know. But it is that pre-social media era as well, where you don't have those instant reactions to the winners and losers, which you see now coming straight out, and people have lots of feelings, and probably lucky, because there would have been a lot of commentary around Brokeback Mountain not winning.
Especially with Brokeback Mountain not winning, but also the fact that it was very much a critical darling. So it was celebrated throughout the night during the ceremony. And it's just, I mean, that LGBTQ plus, the romance between two blokes who are Hollywood heartthrobs that all the girls love, playing lovers amongst themselves. I mean, extraordinary. And it was wildly predicted to win, so I think it may have been a bit of an upset.
Yeah, it was, and it's still spoken about. And this is a day when you had a time with the red carpet live TV commentary, so you'd watch it live on television with people walking the red carpet and getting interviewed. DVD screeners are still influencing the voting as well. It's very, very different today.
I just think though too, like the Academy, they were speculating speculation about Academy of voters being uncomfortable awarding a gay love story. But Crash in and of itself is a pretty intense movie. Like, it's controversial on its own, but because of the fact that it beat Brokeback Mountain, it made it even more controversial, I guess. But you're right, like none of that social media stuff, none of those instant reactions. I mean, yeah, it was probably the last Oscars where that happened.
Yeah. Over on the small screen this week, 20 years ago, the 5th of March, we had a big premiere, Planet Earth on the BBC.
Of all the planets in our universe, there is only one that we know can support life. It's called Earth.
That's pretty much it. Just picture like
Disney Nature Films proudly presents a BBC, Green Knight Media, and Discovery Channel production of an extraordinary motion picture event about 1 year in the life of the creatures who share our planet.
Yeah. Cue like lots of pictures of animals and stuff. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt James L. Jones doing the voiceover there.
Rude of you.
I know. But having said that, like, so...
That's not the voice that mattered as far as this is concerned.
No. I mean, James L. Jones voiced the promo for it.
Whatever.
Darth Vader voiced the promo for it.
I don't care.
No.
Narrated by David Attenborough.
In the UK, yes.
National treasure.
Exactly.
Yeah, the US version actually had Sigourney Weaver, but I think even though it did, I think most people still associate Attenborough with Planet Earth. And it was such a big deal because it was the most expensive nature doco
and as much as
series
I
ever
love,
made.
Like, I love Sigourney Weaver, and I think she has a fantastic voice.
She's not Planet Earth.
I'm feeling cheated if I'm not watching the David Attenborough version.
Yeah. Budgeted around £16 million. Very expensive at the time. Filmed over 5 years, shot in over 60 countries. And it was one of the first major series that was filmed in high def. So HD is still a flex at this stage. Basically, you know, you get your new flat screen TV, which has the HD functionality. This is what you're going to be playing first.
Come over, we're going to watch Planet Earth.
Yes, in high def. There were some amazing clips. There was the great white shark breaching that everybody probably remembers, snow leopards, birds of paradise dancing, a lot of stuff in the deep ocean, and also caves. They were exploring caves that had never been filmed before in high def. It was just stunning.
Yeah, I mean, if you're a stoner who likes, you know, who's got enough money to have a flat screen TV, you're just getting eye-f***ed by Planet Earth the entire time. Yeah, and enjoying every moment of it. Yeah. I think it matters a lot because in 2006, conversations about climate change start to grow. We had Al Gore's Inconvenient Truth coming out in the same year. People were starting to really connect environmental concern with real imagery.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't just pretty pictures. It's like, these. Have a look. This is all the stuff you stand to lose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
From across the globe as well, like not just from your own country too, I think.
Yeah. Well, I think too, the people on TV that were making nature documentaries were just like, oh, shit. Like, we really need to step our game up now because people, like, as soon as you, especially with things like documentaries and nature documentaries, as soon as you provide something that is as cinematic and visually striking as what Planet Earth was, if no one's going to watch the other stuff.
You can see it, like I can see it in my mind, you know, the ultra slow motion and like an animal kind of shaking and the water droplets flying everywhere. Yeah. It was just incredible. But I think when you look back now through the lens of now, it's actually a bit bittersweet because some of those habitats that were in Planet Earth have since changed because of climate change and changes to the Earth.
Yep.
We've seen a lot of species in decline as well, and a lot of environmental stress over the last 20 years. So it's not just nostalgic, it's also a little bit sobering as well.
Like if somebody had a whole bunch of money, like they should just like revisit Planet Earth, like now and then.
Go back and show the difference.
That would
probably be a bit upsetting, actually.
Quite impactful.
Yeah.
Quite impactful. You know what else is impactful? Reality television. Oh,
yes.
so impactful, especially these days. Like in 2026, it's like it's impactful in that if you've got an OnlyFans, you're going to go on Married at First Sight and probably end up making a significant amount of money out of it. But back then, it was a little bit more innocent, and we were all into cooking. Top Chef, in fact, in 2006, sorry, I'm talking about maths and OnlyFans.
Wow.
In 2006, reality TV said, "What if we made cooking really stressful?"
Why not?
And then they gave us
Why not?
Top Chef on Bravo, which was a great show.
We searched the country to find the most talented young chefs from all over America.
I want to open a restaurant before I'm 18.
Culinary prodigies on the road to stardom.
I posted this beef Wellington I made 2.5 million views.
But they won't take this journey alone.
Competing on Top Chef with somebody you love, it's just a beautiful thing.
This is how we roll.
Please don't hurt me. They can bring a grandma, a mom, a dad, an auntie, an uncle.
It's like a science experiment. They're going to be up against the best kids in the country.
I may be the youngest one here, but that doesn't mean I can't cook.
I can feel how nervous you are because your hands are sweating.
That's obviously a more modern promo. It's gone through quite a few iterations. They've had jewels, they've had kids, they've had all sorts of stuff on Top Chef. It's a very wildly successful show.
A bit dangerous too.
Yeah.
Because you've got really sharp knives and you've got fire and boiling water and it could go.
I find sharp knives less dangerous than blunt ones, I have to say.
It could go south very
It
quickly.
could, and that's why we watch.
Lots of
because we're
drama.
hoping that someone will get injured in the kitchen. Premiered in March 2006 on Bravo. Original host Katie Lee. Padma joined later in season 2. Tom Colicchio was the head judge. Professional chefs competing in timed culinary challenges. This wasn't a cute baking show. This is like full-blown knives out. And it sort of paved the way for shows like MasterChef.
I was going to say, it sounds like was MasterChef our version of it? Or did
I think it's.
Or is it?
I think
did the two
MasterChef is
run
like
in
an
parallel?
evolution. They might have
Same
run in
kind of
parallel.
thing where you have these challenges and you've just got to go and cook them.
I'll watch them if they're on, but I don't sort of go out of my way to set my calendar or
The
a
only
reminder.
one I ever remember was when, and I think it was MasterChef. Was it name Poe?
Yes.
And she made that chocolate thing, and the chocolate had to be shiny. The chocolate
Yeah.
couldn't be matte.
Right.
Had to be shiny, and hers was super shiny. And I think the lady that won, hers wasn't shiny. And
Oh,
I
right.
was like,
It's controversial.
well, that's a disgrace. Her
She didn't
chocolate
buff her
wasn't
chocolate.
shiny. Yeah, it wasn't shiny, and
Yeah.
she still won. I'm not impressed, and I don't think I ever returned after that. I was outraged.
Yeah, see, that's what happens.
Yeah.
Sometimes I like the barbecue showdown show. I love that one.
That
Just
one's
'cause
pretty
it's a bit more
good.
outdoors. That's very
Yes.
fun. But I mean, they probably wouldn't have existed if it wasn't for Top Chef, you know.
That's true.
So they had those quick fire challenges, like the short, high pressure tasks that would then get people through to the main task or whatever. Elimination challenge with a big theme. Judges table, you know, once chef gets sent home. We know the format. We know it very well. It was a bit more serious than a lot of the other Food Network shows at the time, though. And it really did treat chefs like chefs, not TV personalities, which I think that's what made the integrity of the show.
That's probably more like the real world because it is a high pressure environment. You only have a certain time in which to, serve up and cook the meal. So it's a bit more realistic.
There's hot stuff, there's sharp stuff, there's fire. It's
And then
the perfect storm.
And I love it when they're narrating and they're like, well, they haven't left themselves enough time to put that in the oven. It's going to be undercooked. That was always stressful.
Well, yes, and it was back, I think, too, when we weren't so tired of the reality format. You know how they'll do like this next challenge is, this is a bad example, but it's like boiling an egg. And then they'll cut to one of the contestants who'll be like, boiling an egg involves putting an egg in boiling water. And it's like, fucking thank you, Captain Obvious. You know, they've got to like explain everything to you like you're a moron.
That's true.
Once you pick up on that trend with reality TV shows and that format, you can't unsee it. And it really ruins it for you. So you're welcome. Well, I've ruined cooking shows. Let's see if I can ruin a book for you now.
Yeah, sure. The New York Times bestseller from this week, 20 years ago, is a book called The Fifth Horseman. Now, there are multiple Fifth Horseman books out there,
Right.
so it's important to clarify that this is the one by James Patterson as part of the series The Women's Murder Club. This is book number 5.
What is it? What sort of genre is it?
Well, based on Murder Club, I'm thinking murder,
I thought it
mystery,
was like
suspense.
Oh,
What did you think it was?
I thought it was a technological thriller or something. So I got...
Oh, look, it's a mystery.
Well,
That's close. Let's go with that.
I got this track called Antagonized by a YouTube royalty-free channel called Aim to Head Official. and I needed to credit them. And but I think I'm kind of off the mark.
Oh, I think it will work. Let's
All
go
right,
for it.
okay. See?
Oh, that's fine.
Well, hang on. It hasn't kicked in yet. I just want to see what happens here. Oh, I like it. It's got a build-up. Oh, man.
The Women's Murder Club need to get into the Euro Club beats. You know, if the Pope can embrace the iPod Nano, the Murder Club can embrace Euro beats.
In nomine Patris et Filii et Spiritus Sancti.
That's good.
Yeah, it works. Definitely works.
You look like a DJ. You were nodding along as you were doing that.
Really?
I just felt like I was in Ibiza then. That was great.
Takes a lot of skill.
Where's the foam? Bring out the foam.
Oh, I don't think the Pope, you don't want to put
The
foam
glow, I
around the
need some
Pope.
glow sticks.
All right, let's get into the book.
Okay.
It's a wild race against time as Lieutenant Lindsay Boxer and the newest member of the Women's Murder Club, attorney Yuki Castellano, lead an investigation into a string of mysterious patient deaths and reveal a hospital administration determined to shield its reputation at all costs. And while the hospital wages an explosive court battle that grips the entire nation, the Women's Murder Club hunts for a merciless killer among its esteemed medical staff. The newest addition to the top-selling new mystery series takes the Women's Murder Club to the most terrifying heights of suspense they have yet to encounter. The Fifth Horseman proves once again that James Patterson is the page-turningest author in the game right now. That's according to the San Francisco Chronicle.
Page-turningest.
Page-turningest, yes.
Well, not amongst the one-star reviews, San Francisco Chronicle. Perhaps you should have got on the Goodreads first before that review. Let's start with the 2-star reviews, actually. Tanya 2 stars.
Yep.
Watch out for the sex and language.
See, I guess at 2 stars, like if it's a 5-star review and it says watch out for the sex and language.
Whoa, I'm in.
Oh boy.
Yeah. So maybe it was disappointing sex and disappointing language in Tanya's eyes. Who knows?
Kay Dawn gave it 2 stars. Audiobooks do not need mood music. I disagree. It was awful and off-putting. Get some of that mood music. Here you go. This is perfect. You know something's going to happen. Get ready. Lose your mind.
It's going to drop. There.
Women's Murder Club. Women's Murder Club.
That is not awful and off-putting at all.
No.
Alan, 2 stars. Had the flavour, nutrition and consistency of chewing gum.
Oh, gross.
I thought chewing gum tastes good.
I wonder if it took like 5 years to digest if you swallowed it. Connie, 1 star. There are way too many advertisements for name brand products and way too much misery and death. It was downright depressing. Maybe those working in law enforcement would like it.
Oh, wow.
Really? This misery and death brought to you by iPad.
What's she trying to say about those working in law enforcement as well?
I don't know.
That
maybe
they like ads?
They thrive
or they like
on
misery and death?
They thrive on product placement, misery and death. Why do you think you would be the perfect police officer? Well, I'm a big fan of product placement and I really thrive on misery and death. You're hired. You've got the job. Here's a badge and a gun. Go out and save the world.
Connie's so judgy. Louis Dyer, 1 star. So ass.
Ass or ass?
Well, they mean ass, but I think they're American, so they'd say ass. This is
kind
so
of
ass.
It's a mic drop
so
moment,
ass.
isn't it? So ass. Like as in a donkey?
I'm assuming
Yeah. Rubbish. Yeah. That's all right. Look, I can feel it building up again. Get ready for a dance break. Ready? Yeah, Women's Murder Club. All right.
Misery and death.
No, it's all good. I'll hold the handbags. You go off and dance with your friends. I'm having a really good time. Just, enjoy it. All the Women's Murder Club, get together, go dance over there. Yeah, I'll scowl at any men that look at you sideways. It's okay. No, I'm here with the handbags. It's all right. You guys go have fun. I'm all danced out.
Yeah, you're
Well,
tired now.
I was just holding the handbags. Did you have fun?
A bit sweaty. I'm getting a
fun
rash from the foam.
Did you have fun
and
dancing with your
I accidentally
friends?
bit into one of those glow sticks and now
Oh.
my tongue is like fluorescent.
Jeez, we
in the
knew how to
dark.
party back in the day, didn't we?
Oh, yeah, better go have a vodka cruiser.
Hatches, matches, and dispatches. Let's do this. A celebrity having a birthday who said this.
I'm going to take you down. And
and I'm gonna take you down hard. Just name the time and place.
If you said Chuck Norris, you'd be correct. 10th of March is his birthday. How old is he? How old is Chuck Norris now? Let me just double check that fact.
Well, you were in charge of getting the information about
Well, I only got...
but you got distracted, I can see.
Instead
of his,
Chuck Norris
his
is...
bio, The Life and Times of Chuck Norris.
He was born on the 10th of March in 1940. So as of... he'll be 86. 86 years old, Chuck Norris, yes. Yes, which is testament, I think, to the Chuck Norris jokes. You know, like he's in such good shape for his age. And he is the action star of all action stars.
Yes, he is.
Although I would argue that a lot of his stuff is kind of B grade compared to like your Schwarzenegger and Stallone's. But I think it's a niche that Norris has carved for himself.
I think it's endearing.
I think he's happy with it. He's had stable employment for quite a long time.
Enjoy it too.
He's a household name.
Yes.
He's 80, what did I say, 86?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, okay. So top 5, Chuck Norris jokes. Chuck Norris once did a Bunnings sausage sizzle. The onions were underneath the bread. Yeah. When Chuck Norris swims at Australian beaches, the bull sharks get out of the water.
Yes.
Chuck Norris can slam a revolving door. Chuck Norris doesn't need sunscreen in the outback. The sun wears Chuck Norris protection. And the number 1 Chuck Norris joke, I think of all time, the finisher. Death once had a near Chuck Norris experience. There it is. And that's all we've got time for today.
Amazing.
I think there's something in that for everyone, don't you? That is the end of the show. We are at the end. You can come and find us on the socials, Facebook, Instagram. Share your Chuck Norris jokes with us, maybe.
Yes, please do. And should we put the guy that was playing his belly up this week?
Yeah, we'll share that. The dude playing Shaw Paul on his guts.
Yes.
We'll share all of it.
Rhythm on the belly.
Yeah. Find us on the socials, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Search for T-20 podcast. Come over to YouTube as well if you like to get your podcasts on YouTube. We're on there as well. Again, search for T-20 podcast. Mel, what's going on next week?
Exciting times for us here in Australia. We had the Commonwealth Games in Melbourne 20 years ago, but that might be a bit of a sore spot these days.
In the shadow of the Sydney Olympics.
Yes,
2006, it's the Melbourne Commonwealth Games.
Yes, someone died of bird flu, so we're a little bit pandemic concerned at that point. We've got some good music as well in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Yep.
And some movies. And look, I think that's about it, really.
And look, just on a serious note, a little bit of homework. Go and watch those YouTube videos about the force feeding.
Yes.
Just go and educate yourself. Forewarned, forearmed, all of that sort of stuff. We love you. We really appreciate your support with our little show. We'll be back to do it again next week. See you then.
Thanks for taking the time to rewind. Join us next time for another week that was 20 years ago. In the meantime, come and reminisce on the socials. Search for T-20 Podcast on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok.